The Kew Gardens Drama.
Holmes, for heaven's sake, whatever's going on?
Oh, hello, Watson. You're early. Did you kill all of your patients?
What? Holmes, where have all these wretched bees come from?
I increased the temperature of the room so as to prevent them from hibernating. I needed to take a sample of honey. But it worked, Watson. We will have honey all year round.
Ridiculous and dangerous.
They're domestic bees, Apis mellifera, such industrious workers. Anyway, Watson, I am sorry, but I must leave you. I'm in rather a hurry.
You have a new case?
Yes, but nothing as thrilling as this experiment. A theft of plants at the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew. I'm helping a minister who's an old friend of mine. You can join me if you like.
Well, I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain alone here with these workers of yours. Besides, you'll need a helping hand with the flowers you're intending to bring back.
Watson, however did you guess?
For the great Sherlock Holmes to bother with the theft of plants. Come on, admit that you're planning to spoil your little bees with some rare pollens.
Since when did I become so transparent? Let us go.
Okay. Fyodor Dostoevsky, Crime and Punishment. Light reading, huh?
Well, Holmes, here we are at the Royal Botanic Gardens. There's no doubt that this place is beautiful. But are you really intent on investigating the theft of the plants?
Yes, of course.
Don't touch anything else, is that clear? Just go and get a bucket of fertilizer. And without turning it over this time. Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you? If you are here for a visit, please do come back on Sunday.
I am afraid that it cannot wait. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson. We are investigating the theft of plants that took place here 5 days ago. A remarkable collection, I believe.
So you're the one in charge, eh?
A small favor for a friend. Now, to whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
I am Martin Hamish. I am the Deputy Director of Kew Gardens. And that fellow yonder is Albert. He works here.
I am delighted to meet you. What can you tell us about the plants?
They were rare and exceptional plants. We presented them at our last exhibition. We haven't removed the stand yet. It is still in the large glass house. We only learned of their disappearance the evening after the exhibition, and nobody saw anything.
No doors were forced?
No, but I would imagine that for a thief it would be fairly easy to gain entry, for there are no guards here.
Well, if you don't mind, we will take a look. Now, you say that it is in the large glass house.
Yes, the one just behind me. Just a second, since Albert has nothing else to do. Albert, show these gentlemen where the exhibition was held.
How many people work here?
Only myself, but occasionally 2 students, Albert, whom you have met, and Miss White.
Here it is. This is the place where the stolen plants were exhibited.
Thank you. Is there something the matter?
Yes, there is. All right, the plants were valuable and rare, but it seems to me that the tragedy that took place here only 2 days ago has been entirely forgotten already.
What tragedy are you referring to?
The director of Kew Gardens, Mr. Montague Dunn, he died here just 2 days ago.
We're very sorry. We were not aware. The two of you were good friends?
He was my father.
Oh dear. Our condolences. We should not be troubling you. Please do excuse us for the intrusion.
You say that he died here, in the large glass house?
Holmes?
Yes, just here, near the door to the colonial collection. He suffered a heart attack. Just like that. So suddenly. It was terrible. Excuse me, gentlemen, but I cannot remain here. If you need me, I'll be in the reserve. That's the room next to the front of the large greenhouse.
Of course, we understand.
Plants list.
Here is a list of the stolen plants.
Do not touch.
Well, somebody obviously touched them.
The plants were here. All of them were stolen.
A little warning sign did nothing.
According to Albert, this is where his father, Montague Dunn, was found dead. The traces are thinner in some places. These boot marks are fresh. It appears as though someone was dragging their feet. The footprints reveal that someone staggered here. Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here. Soil. It should have come from a flower pot. Soil. It should have come from a flower pot. The door was smashed at shoulder height. This door handle is new. It was recently changed. This pot was broken fairly recently. A flower pot recently fell down from these shelves and was misplaced. The esconsson was breached near the handle. The door was forced from the inside of the Colonial Collection room. The handle was changed afterwards.
I think we need to inspect the Colonial Collection room.
This sign is broken. Something heavy was dropped upon it. These trees, with their roots in water, must originate from Louisiana.
Ah, yes, the bayou. I remember our visit in the case of the Awakened.
Watson, out of my way.
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
Oh, go around and look around.
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
Oh, come on, come here. Move. Doom.
Dry tropics.
What we have in here? These are my kind of plants. Barely need to water them. And they can survive. Yeah, it is.
These flower pots are beautiful. They are intended to be used for exhibition purposes. The symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
Somebody stole rare flowers from here and somebody died previously too, so question is if they probably have some connection to each other. I'm just going around checking everywhere.
Dry tropics. There is a smell of burning. The symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
It's not a symbol from the other one side. Gas mask? What the heck?
A protective mask. A protective mask. Someone set it alight, but it did not burn.
Yeah, though I'm not drinking coffee today. I'm drinking
A
tea.
broom handle was half burned. A door handle? Why would anyone throw such a thing in the fire? The door handle to the Colonial Collection and that of the fireplace are made of the same material.
But still the correct thinking there, Orangey. The coffee prices have been gone up so much right now, it's insane.
The remains of a picture frame. The plants were set alight fairly recently. Some have not completely burned.
Yeah, exactly. True. That's the best thing. So you can easily forget to water the plants, you know. And they will still live. So let's see, we are here. So we walked in here, we've been in here. Oh crap, I should have gone. I need to go back in here. Go in here. And go in here. And we need to... 4. So away from here into there.
Ventilation system. Seed house. Nursery. Water lily greenhouse. Colonial collection. Dry tropics. Palm house. Director's office, cloakroom and laboratory.
It's like I'm missing clicking something, but otherwise it's usually okay.
A map of Kew Gardens. Reserve.
Usually if you've gone through everything that you can click, then it usually goes out of it like that. Oh, let's look around here.
A water tank. A ventilation system. It should regulate the temperature of the staff buildings.
Yeah, we're gonna come back to this one, it seems like. Let's go. Wait. Selection. Let's see, can we go here? Pressing arrangements.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
Farmhouse. Do you work here?
Yes, but part-time only. For I'm also studying botany at the University of London.
You're following in your father's footsteps, then. That is commendable.
Well, even if botany is not my strongest suit, there are people who say that I could be a good manager.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
I'm gonna go to where mentioned to go before.
According to this, they have light,
Oh, yeah, the old news.
water level.
Hey, Watson. Should check in here. They wanted us to.
Very strange. Half of the colonial collection is absent. According to
Detergent?
the smell is strong. It is a detergent. This broken fragment was the result of a heavy blow. A fragment of marble, most likely chipped from a statue or sculpture. These windows were perfectly cleaned. Part of this greenhouse was emptied and thoroughly cleaned.
Hello? Controls? But for some reason it locks your character up when he's talking so you can't move or anything. Only when it's unlocked, it's like sometimes the keys are locked in a direction.
These plants come from all the territories of the British Empire.
British India?
Blood. Someone fell violently against this sign, and they were injured in the clash. Most likely a head wound. All the clues around here are quite suspicious. I need my imagination to make sense of it all.
No. Ah.
This reconstruction reveals a disturbing fact. Montague Dunn damaged the door of the Colonial Collection Room.
He was in a panic, or the door was locked. Was it an accident or a murder then, I wonder?
Yeah, in places like this, or boy, with all the flowers and stuff like that, yeah, I can imagine it was very strong smells. Perform an autopsy on a montage done. Jeff is suspicious why it forced the door of the Colonial Collection Room. Why had someone cleaned and emptied the room? Was it a trap or a simple accident? Had somebody opening. But I'm gonna check out a little bit more first.
Locked.
Guess we're not allowed in there yet.
Locked.
Guess we need to progress further in our... Watson? Seriously?
Nursery. Locked.
Denied. I guess we need to do the autopsy and progress further. Let's see, can we get into the seed house?
House. Locked.
Well,
Locked. Nursery.
locked. Nursery. Locked. Okay, so we can't go in there. Let's have a little chat with this fella and see if he has anything new to say. Otherwise, we go and do an autopsy. Yeah, but it's like playing like, you know, the Fallout games or Dark Souls. It does not open. This door doesn't open from this side. This door doesn't open from this side. Locked. This door doesn't open from this side. It's like... Dirty color. Unmarried. Daughter's hand.
Albert told us about the tragic death of Mr. Dunn, the late director of Kew Gardens.
Tragic indeed. His heart attack was quite unexpected.
Would you unlock the doors for us?
Do you expect to find the stolen plants there? I am sorry, but those rooms are private.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Search archives. Do the autopsy first, I think. Can we go and search the archives and see what we can find?
I asked Inspector Lestrade to take Montague Dunn's body to Scotland Yard.
It's ready for autopsy then.
Belongings first. Okay.
This watch is of great value.
Nice looking watch.
A beautiful feather pen of a good make.
Club card.
a membership card for the London Crest Club.
To Mr. F. Wayne, director of Wayne & Sons Printing Company. My friend, your posters for the great exhibition of Kew Gardens are very beautiful, but it is surely unnecessary to mention all of the staff. My name alone will be sufficient. Montage done. Oh, what a selfish little prick.
First of all, let us carry out an external examination. There is an injury to the skull, most probably caused by the fall in the water lily greenhouse. The vessels and the pupil of the eye appear quite normal. The air from the lungs carries a faint floral aroma. No redness, stings, or bruises. Nothing suspicious here. There are no suspicious marks upon the chest. Let us finish our external examination so that we can proceed with the autopsy. Now, let us examine the internal organs. The heart's blood vessels show no pathological signs. The heart tissue shows no visible pathological signs. The lungs are congested and edematous.
Uh-oh. What the?
The tissue on the inferior lobe of the right lung is damaged, most probably caused by toxins from an unknown plant. The liver is enlarged. It would seem that he was suffering from an alcohol addiction. The liver tissue is brown. There are no visible pathological signs. The stomach tissues show no visible pathological signs. There is a small amount of content. It appears that he breakfasted lightly, only a short while before his death.
Well, since he has Sherlock Holmes games, he probably got murdered by
Suspicions have
breathing
been
something bad.
substantiated. Montague Dunn, the director of Kew Gardens, died from poisoning, plant poisoning to be more exact.
You mean
Yes, it is murder.
Exactly.
we should inform Lestrade?
Yes, but do remember, Watson, that I discovered the murder. The challenge is mine.
The challenge, Holmes?
We need to locate that deadly plant. Such a perfect murder appeals to me.
Murder of any kind appeals to you. Is that all we need to do?
No, we also have the people working at Kew Gardens. Martin Hamish and the son of the victim, Albert Dunn.
And also Miss White, of whom we spoke with Mr. Hamish. Should we bring them all here for interrogation?
No, a few innocuous questions at Kew will suffice, as well as a discreet delve into their personal affairs. Yes, Watson, it is time now to open the doors.
Even those in the staff building? I suppose that is necessary.
We should also be concerned with the victim himself. After all, we don't know very much about Montague Dunn.
You're enjoying this already, aren't you?
More than a little.
I think they make the characters so good in this game. Poisoning, he was trapped. After being trapped in a colonial collection room by the killer, Montague Dunn was affected by inhaling a virulent vegetal poison.
Locked. Locked.
Okay, let's try this in. We check that. We need to...
Mr. Holmes?
A very good day to you, my friend. Is Inspector Lestrade in?
I'm sorry, sir, but the inspector's absent at the moment.
Yes, let's see, what do we have? Archives. The laughing hyena got punished. That's what you get. Bot does the revenge for me.
Someone should take Toby for a walk. Have you found something interesting?
Oh dear, Toby. I wasn't aware that you were Watson's new literary agent.
Chewed up his paper. Okay, so let's see. Rare plants, botany. Exotic plants then? These plants have a certain toxicity in common, more or less variable. Dionea carnivorus. Colina inebriae. Oh, all Latin names. I'm not gonna butcher them all. Only the first three can be dangerous to humans, particularly Florem diabolica, but only under very specific conditions. Plant should react to a process of aggression against which it will issue deadly spores.
Here it is.
Hefty murder. Killers may be those who stole exotic plants, including deadly species from the last exhibition at Kew Gardens. Okay. Let's see what is the next one. Search for symbol of the broken pot. Wouldn't surprise me if you did, huh? So which, what is this? Greek history?
That is not the one.
Roman?
That is not the one I need.
Ancient Egypt?
That is not the one I need. That is not the one. That is not the one.
So not history. So what the heck then? Is it in under botany anyway?
That is not. That is not the one. That is. That is not. That is not the.
What it would be under history? Because it won't be under art and...
That is not. That. 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 That is not.
The heck? That is on newspapers then? The glyph means divine. Maybe this scandal at the Divine Syndicate?
That is not the one I need.
What the heck, man? What's divine? Wait. Research. Poisons and toxins. I wonder what the heck this comes from then. Wounds and injuries. Martial arts. Marks. Here we go. The Divine Syndicate. Divine Scholastic Syndicate for Vegetation Veneration. The members of this syndicate worship Traven, the God King. Strive to obtain spiritual peace and release themselves from the material worlds. Generous donations are appreciated.
Here it is. The Divine Syndicate is not a supplier to Kew Gardens. Besides, there is no address here.
Okay. Religious symbols?
That is not the one I need.
Hold on, gun supplies. Demon's Garden equipment and supplies. We are a premium supplier for all your landscape, gardening, and timber requirements. Full range supply and delivery of sand, soils, mulches, pots, and anything else you may need. 3 Bolton Road, London.
Here it is.
Sherlock Holmes, a real one? Nah. Okay, so let's see what we have now. Information. Okay. We had these 3 plants, so it could be. We got a symbol. We got some Riva, the God King. Well, let's explore the garden a bit more. Now we probably should be able to get inside staff and these other 2 places.
Locked.
Unlocked, buddy.
Mr. Hamish, can you explain to us what happened to the colonial collection? It seems somewhat depleted.
But, most likely maintenance work, tidying up.
You're not sure, then? But you're the deputy director.
Well, I am busy. I cannot be everywhere at once.
As deputy director, how was your relationship with Montague Dunn?
To be honest with you, Mr. Holmes, it could have been better. You see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens, but it was solely to make an impression. Great pretense that he cared at all. He would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's opinion. He would then disappear for the rest of the week. He was what some might call a man of action. I'd say rather he was overzealous and chaotic. So after all, it was no wonder, perhaps, that he ended up like that, if you take into consideration his kind of lifestyle.
Well, Don't you enjoy the darkness, Diggy? Dunn's lifestyle. Is it still hot
that
down
Mr.
there,
Dunn
or?
led a particular lifestyle.
Well, it's no secret that he enjoyed, celebrating, shall we say? He was a member of the London Smart Set. He was famous for it. That
And
he had an eye for the ladies, to put it mildly, Mr. Holmes.
Keys.
Mr. Hamish, can you tell us who holds the keys to the locked greenhouses?
That would be Albert, Mr. Dunn's son. Yes, Albert keeps all the keys, and one can only imagine why.
What do you mean?
Well, he was never interested in Kew Gardens before. And now all of a sudden he's trying to act as if he owns the place. I think he wants to take over the management here. He'd do better to leave that to me. He has no experience. No, none at all.
It's been a while since we had a power cut. Usually either happens when it's extreme temperatures, either warm or extreme cold, or can happen during thunderstorms. But very rarely. Albert Dunn.
What is your opinion of Albert as a student of botany?
He's useless. I often tell him so, and I can only give him cleaning tasks. Botany is not his life's work, and his father well knew it. He was furious about it.
He was.
Oh yes, he forced his son to work here, and he never missed an opportunity to criticize him publicly.
Are you able to elaborate on that?
Well, for example, with our last exhibition here, Mr. Dunn had
That's
Albert make
annoying.
a presentation speech. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunn interrupted him, asking him difficult questions, making him look like a failure. It was with the intention of making a fool of him, Mr. Holmes.
That must have been terribly humiliating.
Yes, he was crushed, and he had to leave. Everybody was making fun of poor Albert. That is, except for
The
Miss
power
Margaret
gets
White,
cut.
who is such a nice lady
Ali.
and who always takes pity on Albert.
Margaret White.
You mentioned a Miss White. Would you tell us more about her?
She is a student who works here part-time. She is quite charming indeed. She possesses a great talent for botany. You should take a look at some of her experiments that she carried out in the laboratory. Ah, if only she were not so naive.
Why naive?
The way she used to flutter around Mr. Montague Dunn. And he couldn't help but be flattered by all her attention. How could an intelligent woman such as Miss White not see through his game? I can only scratch my head and wonder.
Tell me, Mr. Hamish, do you grow the more deadly variety of plant here?
You mean insectivorous? Yes, but nothing larger than that.
Are you aware of the Divine Syndicate?
The Divine what? Is this a joke?
No, I am quite serious.
What a ridiculous name. Anyway, I have never heard of this syndicate.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Okay. Let's talk to the son and get the keys then.
Who is Miss Margaret White?
Ah, she is the young lady who studies with me. She visits here sometimes to help out with the greenhouses. In fact, she should be here today. She wanted to work at the seed house. That's the small greenhouse across from the large glass house.
We noticed that a part of the colonial collection has been cleared.
Ah, at the moment I'm just dealing with the storage room. I don't know much about the other rooms.
I imagine that your relationship with your father may have been a strained one.
Yes. I cannot say that he was a kind man, for he never listened to me at all. He forced me to work here. But now, after his death, I've been pondering it over. Perhaps he wasn't so wrong about me after all. I have to follow his path, and I have to manage Kew Gardens. And I can do it. I can be as good as any other who works here.
Would you please tell us about Martin Hamish, the Deputy Director?
Well, I have to tell you that Mr. Hamish is not and has never been the Deputy Director of Kew Gardens. My father would not have tolerated it.
Indeed? That is most interesting. He told us that he was.
Yes, because he believes that the management should be passed down to him now that my father is dead. But in actual fact, Mr. Hamish only has the honour of being the garden's longest-serving employee. In fact, if we are to think logically at all, it should be me who takes over the management of Kew Gardens.
Do you not have a good relationship with Mr. Hamish?
I suppose so. But we have very little in common. Mr. Hamish loves his plants and Kew Gardens, and I cannot say that I share his passion.
I see. And how was his relationship with your father?
Oh, he hated my father. It was obvious. He would be furious whenever my father boasted of Kew Gardens in the newspapers or at conferences. He was convinced that my father was stealing all of the credit for himself. But my father treated Mr. Hamish in the same way as he treated anyone. Dismissively. With indifference.
Tell me, have you ever heard of the Divine Syndicate?
No, I cannot say that I have.
Do you hold the keys to all of these locked doors?
Yes, you can have them. But I cannot give you the keys to the cloakroom. The employees' effects are private. I am sure you understand.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Cloakroom? What? That's something new. Cloakroom?
Just be careful with the plants during your inspection.
Don't worry, I'm just gonna run over them.
Newspapers discussing Kew Gardens.
New plant species. The Kew Gardens team are pleased to announce a successful production of a new variety of barley, one that retains a complete resistance to the cold. They have named it the Siberian barley. Mr. Martin Hamish, the proud cultivator of the graft, will hold a press conference next Monday morning upon this very subject. Not him who did it. You have to find a sculpture or something where that one is supposed to match. My dearest Margaret, following our last conversation, I believe it might be better if you vacate your position here at Kew Gardens. As you pointed out quite bluntly, you're no longer in need of my support. You're quite able to stand up for yourself in this world, as you say. Well, I give you back your freedom and wish you nothing but good luck. Montage done. So she got actually cut off then.
A photograph of Montague Dunn and Reynold Hamish.
What? What the? Can be 4 now. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 then. Hostile genius. No. My dear friend, please allow me to express my disappointment upon reading your last letter. I am paying you to defend me, not to accuse me. Kew Gardens is a royal institution. We are granted a great opportunity to travel the world and to save the most extraordinarily precious and rare species of plant. Our duty is to protect such species and from those who might wish to use them for dubious purpose. This divine syndicate of whom you speak have no right to hold such precious plants. Remember the case of June 14th, 1889? So I must respectfully ask you once again to notarize the permissions on these plants on behalf of Kew Gardens. The document was sent to you on Monday. P.S. See you in Boodles? On Tuesday, as always. This sect has been keeping some rare plants, which he says they should have. Mr. Dunn, we must ask you for the last time for the return of our dear sisters. You do not have any right to hold them imprisoned. They do not belong to you. Your so-called permissions are wholly false. You are hiding behind lies. The lie we need not elaborate that was reported in the press in the case of June 14th, 1889. What you have done is quite abhorrent. Be very sure that we shall never abandon our family members. We trust you and regret having done so. The Divine Syndicate. Oh, damn. Guess we're gonna need to touch the archives about that one.
I suggest that we don't tell Miss Margaret White about this document.
Debt of Miss Margaret White to Mrs. Montage Dunn. Rental of a suite of rooms at Oxford Street and an educational scholarship at the London University. Credits open at Hamilton, Bredigan House Tailors, and at the Baden Sons Luxury Jewelers. White and Dunn. Miss White and Mr. Dunn had a recent disagreement. Montage Dunn was planning to release Miss White from her position in Kew Gardens.
Locked.
Something more. Something there.
There was a bottle here. It left behind a trace of the substance that pervaded the laboratory.
Gold dust? Good heavens. What's it doing here?
The gold is almost immune to chemical attacks, so it may be a valuable auxiliary for various experiments.
But why would anyone perform such experiments in a botanical garden?
Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around. Several drops of the bottle is no longer here, but it is possible to detect a faint scent. We need
Toby.
a good nose. This is a table for experiments. It resembles my own.
Only this one is kept in good order, Holmes. A phonograph used for voice recording. Remarkable.
Yes,
A
this is
pornograph?
quite a modern laboratory.
Martin Hamish's perception of plants. The notion of communication in the plant world has long been considered marginal, yet I remain convinced that some plants do indeed transmit chemical signals in the event of attack.
A study report by Martin Hamish.
And it seems clear from these multiple experiments that plants do respond to their environment and have a form of consciousness. Margaret White, February 1895. Report number 245.
Study report. Chemicals. A sufficient quantity for some serious experiments. A botany book. This student's book belongs to Albert. It appears as though the protective equipment is missing from here. Gloves, waterproof aprons, everything one might need for self-protection.
Do they grow dangerous plants here?
Such masks are generally worn when dealing with toxic chemicals. Locked.
Holmes, Albert Dunn didn't give us the key to this door.
It does not matter. We will open it.
Holy crap. The heck? Okay, so now that one is in the correct position at least. Okay. What are we missing? Yep.
Open.
Open sesame.
Miss White's locker. Apparently, Miss White is a capable student. A draft of the letter that Miss White sent to her parents.
Dear Mother and Father, I am writing this letter with the reluctance to ask for your help. My studies and my housing costs have proven to be more expensive than I had anticipated. I fear therefore that I may not be able to manage in the long term. I know that we have had our disagreements in the past, but would you be so heartless as to allow your daughter to fail her studies due to lack of money? Margaret.
These jewels must be worth a small fortune. A vanity purse. It is of high quality.
Letter from the fairy. Margaret, we were surprised to receive your letter. How could you think to ask us for money after all of these years that have passed since you left and without any fault of us? You had never shared with us any detail of your success at the university, but you choose to do so now? You suppose you must be ashamed of us, for we are not from the same high class as your new friends. Yes, we are modest people, but you should learn to put your family first, as we at home have always done. None of us ever compromised their reputation, as it appears you have already done with your employer, Mr. Dunn. No, Margaret, it is you who makes us feel ashamed of your parents. Ian. Dear Margaret, I know how your financial troubles are overwhelming you at this present time. Please let me reassure you that I could not permit you to remain in such a dilemma. I was born of a wealthy family. I would consider it an honor if you might accept my help. Your devoted servant, Albert. My wife's status and social situation will completely depend upon Montage Dunn's wealth.
Martin Hamish's locker.
Green Thumb.
A review on rare and exotic plants. Martin Hamish has written several pieces.
Mr. General Secretary, recent events unfolding at Kew Gardens obliged me to renew my application for the management position. As I've stated already in my previous letters, I believe that no one is better suited for the post. While Mr. Montage Dunn was alive, I understood your reservation to my suggestion. Reasons were political, and so was happy to comply. But now the Kew Gardens lie in disorder. How can I stand by and allow it? How can I leave them in the hands of inexperienced people with no motivation? I must urge you to cast your decision as a matter of urgency, so that I may devote myself entirely to the noble task ahead and free my mind from this uncertainty.
Martin Hamish studied chemistry. Interesting. Father and I, Kew Gardens. Albert's locker. Specialist articles on shipyards and ship construction. Albert Dunn has a great passion for shipbuilding and the sea. A rejection letter from the British Royal Naval College.
Royal Navy School of NCOs, Recruitment Centre, London. Sir, it is my regret to inform you that despite your excellent results within our entry examinations, we are unable to invite you to the Royal Navy School. Your father, Mr. Montage Dunn, has expressed his intention to entrust you to the directorship of the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew. And it is clear that he would not release you for an entire year of naval training. Please accept all our best wishes to you for your future at Kew Gardens. Yours very faithfully, J.M. the Marchand, Director of the Royal Navy Training Center. Ooh. But he got denied, huh?
Young Albert, standing with a woman in front of London University. Young Albert.
Well, we got a lot to go through now. I wonder if I shouldn't go and check up on this first. Let's see here. A little chat with Albert. But his naval refusal.
I perceive that you are passionate about the Royal Navy.
Passionate? No, not really. I like ships, that is all.
Are you quite sure? You do not seem to be so interested in plants.
It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else.
And yet I know that the Royal Naval College rejected your application.
Ah, you truly are as clever as they say. Yes, that's correct. And in fact, my father was strongly against the idea. He did his best to ruin my plans, although I almost did succeed. But my dreams were shattered, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Albert had motive to kill his father, Montage Dunn. Dunn had thwarted Albert's dream of joining the Royal Navy. Killing his father, Albert could have had his revenge and eventually succeed in his father's place as a direct... Yeah, or he would like to, but he doesn't have the knowledge, to do it. Okay, we need to find a... something that... is... hard camera though. There's nothing in this one. Here.
Look, Holmes, this charming lady must be Miss White. She's entering the seed house.
Locked. The seeds of plant species are stored here. It is a bust of Montague Dunn. I am curious if the marble that we found will fit this place. Here it is. The marble fragment that we found in the Colonial Collection Room is what they have in common. These young plants must be delicate if they are kept in the nursery. A glasses case. It is empty. A thesis written by Martin Hamish. This area serves as Martin Hamish's office. This poster is for an exhibition that Martin Hamish was directing, but it had nothing to do with Kew Gardens. This certificate belongs to Martin Hamish. He won a horticultural competition. We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room from this window. An award presented to Martin Hamish for Best Grower of the Year. A master's degree diploma. It belongs to Martin Hamish.
The best grower, huh?
We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room. locked.
Okay. Go and talk to Miss White. Yes.
Open. From here, we are unable to see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room. Materials for college study. They belong to Albert. These leather gloves are new and of good quality. They do not appear to have been used. This place serves as Albert's office. A book about ships. Nothing at all to do with plants.
Good day to you, miss. You have some very beautiful plants here.
Why, thank you, sir. And good day to you, too. But
Oh, I do beg your pardon. My name is Dr. John Watson. This is my good friend, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
I am honored to make your acquaintance, gentlemen. My name is Margaret White. Excuse me, but are you Sherlock Holmes, the great detective?
Yes, I am he.
What a pleasure to see you here at Kew Gardens. Are you working on a case?
Maybe I am. Expensive perfume, okay. Think more. What the heck are we missing here though?
Yes, a theft of plants that took place here a few days ago after their most recent exhibition.
Oh, yes, of course. I quite forgot about that.
Oh, it's quite understandable that you might forget about the theft of the plants, miss, after the tragedy that took place here.
Yes. The director was a truly good man. It is such a terrible misfortune.
Would you happen to know why part of the Colonial Collection was cleared?
No, I have never been there.
Do you work here?
Part-time only. I am a biology student at the London University. I attend the same classes as the son of Mr. Montague Dunn. That is how I found my chance to work here for part of my thesis, you see. It is a great honor.
How well did you know Mr. Montague Dunn?
He was a master, a great leader. I saw him almost as a spiritual father.
He had an exceptional nature?
Oh yes, indeed. He was always so active and so optimistic and very nice to me. Although he could behave harshly towards his son.
Why so?
He loved his son dearly and wanted the very best for him. It made him extremely demanding. Albert, who is naturally shy, suffered because of it.
The Divine Syndicate. Does that name mean anything to you, by any chance?
Not at all. But it is a very pretty name.
Most of the doors in Kew Gardens are locked. Do you have a key to this room?
Oh, yes. Albert gave me a set of duplicate keys. He agreed I might carry out my studies without disturbing him. It is only temporary.
Thank you, miss. None of the 3 people who work at Kew Gardens know why half of the colonial collection was cleared. So, someone is lying. It is obvious.
Okay.
Mr. Hamish, was someone from your family connected with Kew Gardens?
Family? No. I'm the only one with a passion for botany.
I do not think so. This photograph of you and your father at Kew Gardens suggests the opposite.
But you have no right to.
Do tell us more about your father.
He was, indeed, the greatest botanist of his time in the British Empire. He worked together with Montague Dunn until the end of his life. He brought me in at the age of 12.
Did he get on well with Mr. Dunn?
No, I couldn't
They're
say
all
that.
lying, man.
They expanded Kew Gardens together, that was all. And it was all my father's work, for Dunn always lived the high life.
So Mr. Dunn was not helping your father?
Oh, yes, he provided the financial support. And as far as he was concerned, that fulfilled his role. But the worst of it was, he declared himself as the master of Kew Gardens. Fame meant nothing to my father. So it was easy for Mr. Dunn to take all the credit.
There is a bust of Montague Dunn in the nursery.
A bust? Oh, that old thing. Further proof of that outrageous ego of his.
But why in that room in particular?
Oh, I don't know. It has always been there.
It is strange, because I recovered a fragment of the bust inside the Colonial Collection Room.
Really? Oh, well, so I am mistaken. It ought to have been removed during the cleanup. This room is so small.
Do you know who moved it?
I have no idea. Surely Mr. Dunn requested it. Do you have any more questions like this? Because fragments of rock are not my responsibility.
Evidently. Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Martin Hamish had a motive. He believed that he and his father's lives had been ruined by Dunn, who had taken the credit for all of their work. Hamish wished to take over the directorship of Kew Gardens, but he knew that it would not be possible with Dunn still alive. Okay. We need to do that, and we need to come back with Toby. Oh. Baker Street it is. So how's Mad Max going, Caloria? Let's see. Search for case of what was it now? All cases have been published in the newspaper. The case of June 14th, 1889. Scandal at the Divine Syndicate. I'm just saying, asking how it goes. You don't have to think about how far into the game you are. That's hard to know unless you look it up. Still enjoying it, I hope? Have you pimped out your car? Scandal at the Divine Syndicate Club. The Divine Syndicate Club, followers of the God King Trevon, situation on 48 Grosvenor Street, Charlton Road, protectors of plants and more particularly trees, are currently the subject of an administrative investigation. The leaders of this organization are suspected of financial malfeasance. It may be that this investigation will lead to charges of usury. Meanwhile, many voices have risen against this inspection, denouncing the state. In fact, this private organization, which has given in as its goal the defense or protection of nature, and which incorporates many persons of influence, including political representatives of the opposition party.
Here it is. And here is the Divine Syndicate's address. Perfect.
For the host, TJ.
It is time to find out what
doing,
they
buddy?
have against Montague Dunn.
Okay. Let's take Toby and do the scent thing.
Come on, Toby. We have some work for you to do. Let us go to Kew Gardens. Let us take Toby to the laboratory. He will pick up the scent of this mysterious substance. Search, Toby. Search.
Sniffing.
Congratulations, Toby. Now let us see what you have found.
Come back, Diggy.
This is the bottle that was used in the laboratory. It was buried here. There is still some liquid remaining in the bottle, with gold flakes, a tiny caterpillar. Not surprising to see one in a garden, but at the bottom of a bottle.
Tequila!
Excuse me, but I have to tidy up this room.
Okay, not really here. Did have a dialogue.
Just be careful with the plants during your inspection.
No, you know, you tend to have like a little worm in the bottom. Not a caterpillar, but you know.
Poor Mr. Montague Dunn. It is so awful.
Because the bottle had like caterpillars in the bottom of the bottle that we're gonna examine right now.
Let us determine just what we have found here. Let us
But it's
pour
not a
liquid
drink,
from the
but
bottle into a
it has
test
gold
tube
and stuff.
to perform an analysis. This is the bottle that we found hidden at Kew Gardens.
We'll see what this is.
A colorless, water-based liquid. Quite a strong floral aroma.
How are you doing, CJ?
Holmes? What are you doing?
It has a bitter taste.
What if it's poisonous?
Did you ever see poison stored in enormous jars like that? Anyway, there is a doctor nearby.
So what do you think it is?
It is some kind of organic compound. Let us vaporize the liquid and see what happens. Small colorless crystals. Colorless, tiny crystals that are soluble in water, with a floral smell and a bitter taste. Watson, could you pass me that small bottle, please?
Of course. Here you are. Holmes, do you know what it is?
Wagner's reagent. There was a label on the bottle that you passed to me.
No, Holmes, I meant the bottle that we found.
Let me add the reagent and see if there is any sediment, and then I shall tell you. I need to take a pipette and make several. Red sediment, just as I suspected. This liquid is of organic origin. It contains some alkaloid. Most likely it is unstable, and that is why there is a quantity of gold dust to prevent contamination. This mixture is probably a fertilizer. Someone was carrying out unusual experiments in the garden's laboratory.
Okay. Okay, we come here. The Divine Syndicate then.
This place is beautiful, Holmes. Its atmosphere is remarkably soothing.
Let us find someone who could help us.
Maybe some sprout out of his ears. Guru?
Good day to you, sir. My name is
I am exalting the sap. A while can you wait? From the trace of elements and moreover from the quality of the ambient geotropism it depends. Therefore, please, mind my gravitropism. Its balance, do not disturb.
Disturbed is most definitely the word.
There. Completed is the symbiosis. Welcomed you are. To introduce myself, I am the Green Grand Mystic.
the Green Grand Mystic himself.
This is me. Who am I speaking to?
We are two gentlemen who are extremely interested in the vegetation philosophy that is advocated by this establishment.
Listening to you, I am.
Tattoo? Acid burn.
We should like to take a look around, to immerse ourselves in the wisdom that emanates from here.
It is a school of anastomosis, the divine scholastic syndicate for vegetation veneration and meditation. You may say, the divine syndicate. Glory to the eukaryotic. Only true devotees, those whose hearts are ready to spermatophize in sharing of knowledge, are permitted to physically enter our vegetable kingdom and its wisdom. And to be permitted, you must earn it. Yes.
We visited Kew Gardens, and we found your symbols on their flower pots.
Coincidence, I am thinking. They would scavenge our refuse. It would not surprise me.
It was merely an observation.
Vegetable Kingdom.
Green Grand Mystic, we are ready to become devotees and gain access to your temple.
What is the name of our Lord, our God King?
Our God King's name is Treewan, Green Grand Mystic.
Oh, la, good, I like you. Here is the holy key to the wisdom place. Holy donation can you make whenever you so wish.
Thank you so much.
I pray you to taste our fertilizer substance. From the burdens of life it helps to free.
But of course.
Raw sap, it is called. It is near the entrance.
Oh boy.
Well, we will leave you to your meditation.
Zodiac, what kind of game is that then? Let's go look over here first before we go in. And we can hit the gong.
Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here. The Kew Gardens symbol.
They may have taken the flowers then. Oh, you know we can't resist. Bing. Benefactors.
The list of plant friends and benefactors. Lawyers, well-known manufacturers, political leaders. That should be the raw sap that the Green Grand Mystic spoke of. It is rather delicious, and of an excellent quality.
My word, Holmes. Their sap is like a form of cocaine.
Well, Mr. Holmes, you used the cocaine.
Osmosis and photosynthesis.
Okay, buddy.
This must be Triwan, the Divine Syndicate's god. This door is locked, but I can try to open it.
If it would be on Steam, you would have to pay more for it. Okay, Go to this one. There we go. There's a door over here too, right? Let's check this one first.
Caterpillars. They are raised as food for certain plants. Let's take them. A tropical plant, nothing of interest. A tropical plant, nothing of interest. tropical plant. A tropical... A tropical plant. A tropical plant.
Tropical plant, tropical plant, a tropical plant, a tropical plant.
These 3 plants are identical to the ones shown at the exhibition. I shall take them.
Okay, just pick them all. Set up the alcohol from a chemical laboratory and the caterpillars and perform an experiment with the deadly plants. Oh, the game crashed again. Oh, man. The second time it crashes. Ah. And then it's cloud sinking, and then you have to wait. Wonder where it's saved. Dookie dookie.
These 3 plants are identical to the ones shown at the exhibition. I shall take them. A tropical...
Do that just for the heck of it. Okay, are you gonna crash again, game, or are you gonna actually behave, man? Opium
These
smoking.
instruments are used for smoking opium. This substance is an alkaloid, the same as in the bottle we found in the bushes at Kew Gardens. Perfect, Watson. We can begin our experiment. This cabinet is full of chemicals. They are the same as the ones we found in the laboratory at Kew Gardens. That would be enough to perform the most difficult of chemical experiments. A vast amount of opium.
Well, that's what they're making over here, huh? Opium. There, fun, buddy.
Osmosis and photosynthesis.
Okay, buddy.
Do you have friends at Kew Gardens?
None. Not worthy there.
What?
Do you have...
None. Not worthy there.
No.
Nevertheless, we have seen Kew Gardens flower pots in your yard. How could they happen to be there?
What? Our sacred place you permitted yourself to search. Sacrilege.
No, really now. There was a theft of plants at Kew Gardens a matter of days ago, and we believe the pots we found here may be connected with it. Please tell us, were you involved?
No. Those plants were ours. They had stolen them from us.
How so?
Their director, Dump, I believe.
Done.
Yes, that's what I said. He borrowed from us 3 of our sisters for the exhibition at his green fly-infested gardens. But he never gave them back to us. Excuses and imbecility.
Exactly.
So we went in and saved them.
I see. So, if you stole those rare plants from them, then it means... Ah, I get it. Bravo, Holmes. I think the case is solved.
No, we did not steal. We saved. Well, as a matter of fact, we were unable to find our 3 plants.
I beg your pardon. And yet you took all of the exotic plants from the stand.
They had disappeared. It was the least we could do. They stole our sisters, and so we stole theirs.
Well, we will leave you to your meditation.
That was a good one. Dump. Partial theft then, huh? True. I think we're gonna getting close to the conclusion of this case. Oh. Bum, 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 bum.
I imagine that one of these plants would be capable of releasing a toxic vapor. I need to find out exactly how it could be done. I shall begin now. Watson, if you are at all optimistic to have dinner this evening, then I'd recommend that you put on the gas mask.
Guinea Congoris.
A prickly plant. This is a strange and unusual plant. A carnivorous plant. This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid. This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid. It appears to open after being soaked with alkaloid. This plant seems to have had no reaction from the caterpillars.
Snack on it.
I find the behavior of predators utterly fascinating.
What's that caterpillar?
It closed again. I believe I saw a small cloud of gas. I wonder what secrets this plant is hiding. Perhaps if we agitate it to a greater extent whilst it is opened, it will reveal a little more.
I got a plan. Just snatch that
It
caterpillar.
appears to open after being... No reaction. It closed again. I believe I saw a small cloud of gas. I wonder what secrets this plant is hiding.
Yes, what we need to do is we need to swap these two. That one keeps eating the caterpillars.
It appears to open after being soaked with alkaloid. This plant seems to have had no reaction from the caterpillars. This plant seems to have had no reaction from the caterpillars.
Huh? Oh, wait. Okay, so it's this. We need to...
It closed again. I believe I saw a small cloud of gas. I wonder what secrets this plant is hiding. Perhaps if we agitate it to a greater extent whilst it is opened, it will reveal a little more.
I don't get it, though. What the heck am I supposed to do more?
It appears to open after being soaked with alkaloid. I find the behavior... How interesting. What a strong and effective defensive mechanism. I am interested in what might occur if the prickly plant should shoot at it. Toxic gas with spores. Extraordinary. The plants would be capable of killing only if they were directly next to the victim and stimulated at precisely the right moment.
Let us take our caterpillars to the Colonial Collection Room. We may see things more clearly there.
It is too early, Watson. Our suspects will be there. Let us investigate Kew Gardens one more time and ask some questions.
Did not. Okay. Okay, I guess that is one conclusion. more talking to figure out more. Oh, that cult was like high and they all smoked opium and used that drug that was like cocaine. So they were all just high on drugs all the time. Well, not all the time, but many times.
Can you tell me if you saw Mr. Montague Dunn on the day of his death?
Yes, of course. I met him, and we went to see Albert, his son, at around 9:30. He appeared quite calm.
What were you doing on the morning of the accident?
After paying multiple visits to Albert, I had a little talk with Miss White. Then I returned to my desk to complete some paperwork. Suddenly, I observed that Mr. Dunn was not feeling well, so I ran immediately to fetch Albert. I clearly remember that it was around 10:30, for I was late that morning.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
We have to pay attention to the time, I assume.
Your father's death does seem highly suspicious. What were your movements here on that day?
Suspicious? Well, I was working in the seed house, taking care of Lysa something, or Lear Pontus, or... No, wait. Ah, these Latin names. And I spent so many hours trying to memorize them.
Did you see your father that day?
Yes. He came here with Mr. Hamish for his weekly visit. There was nothing unusual about that.
And then?
Nothing. They stepped out to the backyard. It was perhaps 20 minutes before 10 o'clock. Then about 10 minutes later, I saw my father heading for the dry tropics room while Mr. Hamish returned here.
And Mr. Hamish and Miss White, what were they both doing that morning?
Mr. Hamish visited me a couple of times. I also saw him returning from talking with Miss White, and that was at 10 minutes past 10. But then he ran back here to me to tell me that my father was feeling unwell. We hurried across to the water lily room, and I found my father lying dead on the floor. Oh, my God.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
10:10. He said 10:30 though. Wouldn't quick if I had gone the other way.
Can you tell me what Mr. Dunn was doing upon the day of his death?
I can, but there is nothing very special to say. I was in the laboratory when I saw Mr. Dunn heading towards me. Tuesday is the day of his weekly visit. It was supposed to be at 9, but he was 10 minutes late, as usual.
And then?
Well, he came in to say good morning. Then I saw him spend 2 or 3 minutes by the plants outside the laboratory. After that, he ran out in the direction of the nursery, where Mr. Hamish was working. He was always in a rush during the inspection, you see. I would pity anyone who stood in his way.
And that was the last time you saw him?
Yes. I stayed in the laboratory until 20 minutes to 11, when I heard the cries of Albert and Mr. Hamish from the large glass house. I joined them as soon as I could, for I knew that something must be very wrong.
What exactly were you doing in the laboratory?
I was recording an experiment for my thesis. I only stopped my work once when Mr. Hamish visited me briefly around 10 o'clock.
You say you were recording an experiment when the tragedy occurred. Might I listen to the roll?
Certainly. Please do. You will find it in the laboratory. It is number 320.
Thank you, miss.
Everyone has gone, Holmes. The way is clear.
When Montague Dunn was standing close by the plants, the caterpillars were released and caused the deadly spores to activate. Panicking, and likely already half asphyxiated, Montague Dunn started back and knocked over the bust. He rushed to the door, but it was locked. He had to force it open with his shoulder. We already know the outcome. Montague Dunn collapsed and died not far from the pool. Well, it is time to perform our experiment on the ventilation system.
Yeah, he's trying to get out of that deal in so many ways now.
Dry tropics.
I wonder if there's nothing about this part then.
First of all, I need to visit the Colonial Collection Room to see how those caterpillars dropped onto the deadly plants.
Does that mean that we need to get the plants first? There's no...
The caterpillars could only fall from the ventilation duct. Our caterpillars are in place. I'll activate the ventilation system so that they fall down. Watson, stay here and observe.
All right, Holmes.
Yeah, but I already noticed that, so that one.
Dry tropics.
Oh, game! Did it move again? After he read that stupid text?
The power is on. The engine cannot be stopped. The engine has started. The ventilation system is working.
Now we need to see if we can activate the fans from Mr. Hamish's and Albert's space.
Do, 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 do.
We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room from this window. Excellent. This ventilation fan is working. Let us see if I can activate the other one.
No, come on, window.
From here, we are unable to see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room. Perfect. Now I just need to find Watson to check the result.
It works perfectly, Holmes. Bravo. Now, if you could just help me to get rid of these caterpillars.
Perfect. Now we know how the murder of Montague Dunn was carried out, by activating both Albert's and Mr. Hamish's fans.
But only from Mr. Hamish's workplace would it be possible to see when Montague Dunn entered the Colonial Collection Room.
Oh, shit. Martin Hamish had the opportunity to stimulate the deadly plants in the Colonial Collector Room. As a biologist, he would have understood the technicality of how to do this. What? Knowledge means what I require at the university might not be enough to guarantee the correct. Martin Hamish could be the killer. He had the opportunity to steal the Divine Syndicate's plans and stimulate them from his workplace directly after he had locked the montage done inside the Colonial Collection Room. Affect the arrest of Martin Hamish. But she can. Okay, she used. So this one can't be there. Okay. They use that, and that won't work. Because then it would be them. Yeah, they only took those. There's still something that's missing.
Let's go to Scotland Yard.
There's something still missing, it seems like, because we don't get the conclusion yet. Oops.
Inspector, I believe that Martin Hamish is guilty of the murder of Montague Dunn.
Aha! I knew it. I'll send the lads around to arrest him.
Very good. I shall wait to hear from you.
Sometime later, and we heard from him. Where the heck are we going now?
Inspector, I came here as quickly as I could.
Martin Hamish is in the large glass house. There's no need to hurry. Martin Hamish.
Mr. Holmes?
Holmes, my God!
Yes, we found him like that.
Our messing around with the ventilation system didn't go unnoticed. Mr. Hamish realized that we knew.
Inspector, could you arrange the body, please? I should like to examine it. The mark around the neck is very visible. He died instantly.
Life has become a living hell. I find it unbearable. Dunn deserved to die, but I cannot forgive myself for having his blood upon my hands. The Hamishes seem to have always fallen victim to our circumstance, and I find myself to be no exception. I must atone, and I shall do so here and now. Farewell. Doesn't sound like him, though.
Holmes, his left shoe is unique. This anomaly is often a characteristic of...
A club foot. Bravo, Watson. That is the key element of this case.
When Hamish was unable to run due to the tibial torsion on his club foot, therefore we should find out if he had sufficient time to lock the door, the colonial collection room, and deactivate the ventilation system. Did he have an accomplice? Discuss with destroy the possible impact of the nucleus found on the body of Martin Hamish. But hell, no clue. Would say.
Something about this rings very oddly.
Why do you say that, Mr. Holmes?
Why? Because of Mr. Hamish's club foot. Oh, I deserve to be kicked from here to Charing Cross. I should have noticed it.
But, Mr. Holmes, I can't see why.
No, I don't suppose you do. You must recall that Mr. Dunn was locked inside the Colonial Collection Room by the murderer. If it was Mr. Hamish, he would have had to run up to his workplace to trigger the fan situated above it, taking into consideration the condition of his foot.
Well, it is still possible.
Perhaps, but it is rather strange that such a person as Mr. Hamish decided to base his plan on the speed of his gait.
You mean to say that somebody helped him?
So the suicide is questionable?
Correct. Mr. Hamish accuses only himself in his letter, and so the investigation stops.
Possibly an accomplice, then? That idea had not occurred to me, Mr. Holmes.
I have another idea, Inspector. Thanks to the testimony that we have collected, we are able to rebuild the events as they took place that day.
With a timeline, such as we did in the Jack the Ripper case.
Precisely.
The map at the entrance of Kew Gardens should help us with our timeline.
Let us analyze the facts and statements so that we may recreate the events of that morning.
Mm-hmm. And 20 minutes to 10 when Hamish and montage. Hamish. Okay. 10 o'clock. Hamish ran to Albert as soon as he observed the montage. Dunn was unwell, which was at around 10:30. Albert was in the seat house the entire morning. He observed that Hamish returned from visiting his wife at 10 minutes past 10.
Let us summarize. Montague Dunn was poisoned inside the Colonial Collection Room. He forced open the door, which means that someone locked him inside there at 10:20. Martin Hamish was last seen at 10:10. This means that he has approximately 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room. Given that he was club-footed, it is doubtful. Albert also has 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room, which is quite enough time. Miss White was last seen at 10 o'clock, which means that she had approximately 20 minutes to lock the door. More than enough time. Perfect, Watson. Now, let us ascertain who assisted Martin Hamish in killing Montague Dunn.
Despite 20 minutes, it would be enough to trap Montage could have locked the door and let Martin Hamish active. That then? They're not the accomplishments. His wife is a dangerous woman, very capable of carrying out an elaborate murder for monetary gain. She flirted with Dunn's son Albert and later pushed Martin Hamish to his suicide. Yeah. She was an evil one. To the ropes with her.
But Holmes, how can you be certain that we'll find Miss White here?
It is obvious, Watson. Just use your brain.
I am using it. I do use it.
Now that the rope has tightened around Martin Hamish, Miss White must act to erase all traces of her implication. After the suicide of her accomplice, there is one final trace remaining: the deadly plants of the Divine Syndicate. She will be there.
Very good. Shall we go?
Yeah, we have to be
Just
prepared.
one
There
moment.
is used.
Now listen to me,
Seems
Watson.
to be always
I shall
something
see her
happening.
alone. You will conceal yourself behind her, quietly.
Oh boy.
Whatever are you planning?
Nothing spectacular. The impulses of women have always been a mystery to me, but she is a bold one, and so we must be cautious.
All right. You can count on me, Holmes.
It's gonna be some QTE moment.
Mr. Holmes, good day to you.
You do not seem surprised, Miss White.
Well, I was expecting you.
Not for too long, I believe. So please tell me, as it is still unclear, who planned the murder? Was it you?
You were wrong, Mr. Holmes.
It was Martin Hamish, then. You managed to convince him to take on a more prominent role.
You could not be further from the truth.
You think that you can fool me?
You don't care what I think.
It is difficult to care about someone who is capable of pushing a man to his suicide. It is over, Miss White. The police will be here any minute.
Over, perhaps. One moment you were here, and the next, you were on the other side.
The other side? No! Stop! I beg you not to do this, Miss White.
Don't come any closer.
Please remain calm. We can help you.
Not one step further. Don't try to stop me.
Stop this foolishness. You cannot truly want to die.
No, it's too late.
Well done, Watson. She was not faking.
Miss White, you have no right to take your own life.
Dr. Watson? Did you just save me? Or worse?
Partial. Yeah, most did it, and same did the moral. Let's just see what the next one is.